On February 13th, we have Saturn, Lord of Karma, time, discipline, structure, creativity, and destruction, moving into permanent residency for the next 3 years into the sign of Aries. We had a taste of this going on in 2025 for a few months when Saturn did a quick visit to give us a taste of what Saturn in Aries will be looking like for you. And so we have Saturn gets this huge, challenging reputation within astrology, within birth charts, within social media. We have people talking about, the fated Saturn returns and your Saturn placement in your birth chart. And what I want to do today, we're going to go through what Saturn means, the mythology of Saturn, the meaning of the planet Saturn within the birth chart, what it signifies, how it works out, and also later on going through the aspects of this transit. I want you to save this video because the Saturn transit we'll be having through the sign of Aries, and we all have Aries within our birth chart somewhere. And so we'll be having this 3-year transit, right? And so save this video, come back to it, and reflect upon all the things that we touched on, because I'm going to go through all of the rising signs, right? You can listen to that for your sun sign, of course. Rising sign is going to be the most accurate for you because the rising sign is the sign which is rising on the eastern horizon the moment you took your first breath. And so this is going to be how you are assimilated to the world, right? The outfit that you wear and embody and showcase to the world, right? This is your rising sign. And so it's going to be most accurate. This will be falling in your first house. And if you're using a Placidus house system, then you may have intercepted houses and you may have, a few of the signs within the rising sign or first house area, shall I say. And so if you want to listen out for the intercept designs, of course, do that too. However, I always do these videos in whole sign order. And so listen out for your rising sign first. The sun sign is going to be the energy that you bring, the reason why you're here, your purpose, right? Can be linked to father, ego, to do with your life mission, your karma, your work, your career, right? And also, listen out for your moon sign too, and the moon sign can be really tied in with the story around how you feel about this transit, right? How does it play out for you emotionally, your sensitivity, how you were nurtured, your home life. It can also represent female figures, mother figures, the nurturing caregiver within your birth chart too. So moon sign is really important as well. So I always say that your big three, but first and foremost, rising sign always, right? If you don't know that, go onto a free birth chart calculator, okay? Go onto a free birth chart calculator and have a look at, pop in your date of birth, right? Pop in your date of birth, pop in your time of birth. I'm just trying to put up my notes to get all the transits for you guys. So put in your date of birth, put in your time of birth as well, right? And the location too. This is going to give you the accurate birth charts. You want it in the wheel formation because that was going to give you a 12-section pie. Each pie represents a different area of your life. Right, the first house being your rising sign, second house your money and values, third house siblings, how you travel, how you communicate, fourth house your home and family, caregivers, fifth house sex, dating, fun, joy, children, sixth house your wealth, your work, your health, your seventh house is your relationships, eighth house is intimacy, dating, death, rebirth, transformation, so on and so forth. Okay. And so this is what I wanted to find. We had it. I said to you in the intro, we had a taste of Saturn in Aries last year, and so Saturn dipped into Aries briefly last year, right? This was between May and September of 2025. Okay, and so have a think back on what were my key themes in that area of life. Okay, for my Libra rising, I'm using myself as an example. When Saturn transited, dipped into Aries between May and September. Relationships were really key theme, right? They were like dissolving of, new ones coming in, structures, boundaries, contractual agreements, that sort of stuff. And so this will be a taster. That was a taster, sorry. And now from the 13th of February, before Valentine's Day, the 14th one, 13th of February, Saturn will be moving back into Aries 0 degrees. We're making a few key transits we'll talk about in a sec, but ultimately Aries is the baby of the zodiac. It's the first sign. It's the initiator, right? So it's about starting things. It's about going after what you want. Aries is fire. Aries is passion. Aries is bold, right? Aries can't be contained. This is like opposite of Saturn. Saturn is dry. It's cold, right? It's about discipline, responsibility. It's about timing, mastery, lessons, right? Strategy, endurance, doing the hard thing. It's not about Aries is like a quick success. Saturn is about doing the hard work, right? You've got to do the hard work. And he wants you to repeat and do things over and over again to learn the lessons. And so Saturn is known to be in its detriment in Aries because the opposite sign to Aries is Libra, and Libra is what is known as exaltation. We've been talking about exalted planets a lot lately on this channel. If you are new, a new follower, thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. Welcome to the community. If you've been following for a while, you know we've been talking about exalted planets for a while now, and each planet has its point of exaltation, meaning they act really powerful, really strongly, really benevolent in a particular sign. So you have the planets and their ruling signs, right? So Venus rules Taurus, Venus rules Libra, right? Mars rules Aries, Mars rules Scorpio. However, these are not their exaltation points, okay? And so Mars is exalted in Capricorn, yeah. Um, Saturn is exalted in Libra. Okay. If you want to dive deeper into the planets, the houses, the meanings, the aspects, all of the things, I've created a decode your birth chart astrology course. It's like I think I recorded like something like 14 hours worth of content for you to break down, dive into. It's all time stamped, it's all structured. You go into the planets, the signs, the houses, the aspects, what Venus means in the first house, and you know, it's deep. It's a lot, right? It's all in there. There's a work that goes with it. So check that out if you really want to learn astrology. I've created it in a way that you can learn easily, and you can also use this as a resource for you to then go on to read your own birth chart and the charts of other people. Whether you want to do that for fun or you want to do that professionally, the course will really help you. All right. And so with the go get confidence of Aries, right, and the fast, bold, fiery independence of Aries, Saturn is like, okay, I still want you to have that willpower and determination, right? I want to test you though, right? Um, it's about this is about stepping into your power, stepping into your leadership. So Saturn doesn't want you to not harness the power of Aries dominance and Aries confidence, right? He wants you to fine tune it. He wants you to direct that energy into something. He wants you to mature with it and bring opportunities. Saturn does bless, right? Saturn will bless you if you're prepared to do the work. All right, it's about being grounded. It's kind of like a mature energy, right? It's like I'm maturing into my long-term goals and plans. I want to take inspired divine action, Aries energy, towards my dreams, goals, and desires. All right, asking you to take authority and take charge of your life. This is what Saturn Aries will be about, and for each one of us, it'll be different depending on your rising sign. Okay, and also really interesting to talk about is where do you have your natal Saturn? And so people who have Saturn in Aries, you guys will be having your Saturn return. That's really pivotal. Happens every like 27, 28 years. All right. And it's a sign of, let's say it's a sign of maturity because you're bringing your first, you have this, the 27 club, for example, this is when the Saturn return starts, and you'll have a really pivotal moment and breakdown moment where you'll be really fucking tested for you to transform and grow into, the next phase of your life, next chapter. And it happens every 28 years, okay? And so, if you have your Saturn in Aries, for example, you're going to be having a Saturn return. Saturn in Libra, you guys will be having a Saturn opposition. It's kind of similar energy to a Saturn return, but it's reflected back on you through other people. All right. We have Saturn square too, and so if you are a Capricorn, if you have Saturn in Capricorn, for example, or Saturn in Cancer, you guys will be having your Saturn square. All right. So your first challenge, roadblock, overhaul for you to transform and change. So it's like, okay, I'm going along the journey of my life. I'm going to come across my Saturn square. Okay. So this is like every 7, 14, 28 years. We have these Saturn squares every 7 years, opposition every 14 years, the Saturn return 27, 28 years, right? It's a 7-year cycle. Saturn is a cycle. It's the Lord of Karma, the Lord of Time, right? And if you're talking about the mythology of Saturn, Saturn is a god of time. right? Discipline and structure. Okay, these are the key words. The Greeks was called Saturn Chronos, which is time. Uh, he ruled over the Olympians, right? And Cronus is famous for devouring his children because he didn't want to be overthrown by them because he knew that one of them would be overthrown. I think Jupiter was the one that Herod had hidden from Saturn and grew up to overthrow him eventually, right? So the prophecy fulfilled, right? So the mythology of Saturn is he's the cycle, he's the rule maker and breaker, ending, legacy, responsibility, right? Seeming cold and harsh. This is Saturn, yeah. But also the great teacher, you learn from your lessons. This is it. You bring you lessons. When you learn through those lessons, you are rewarded. To those who endure and persevere and persist and respect the long term, Saturn will bless you. All right. And so should we go into Saturnia? Should we talk about Saturnia as well, which is kind of like the Saturnalia, should I say, is the ancient Roman festival, right? And this is kind of like tied into like Christmas areas and the Christmas kind of period. So there's like a whole thing about this we're not going to get into, but I will talk about on some stack if you want to go down rabbit holes and stuff, right? But yeah, ultimately Saturn's about restrictions, but it's about uh, sacrificing instant gratification and going after and holding out for a long-term success and pleasure. All right, and so the key dates. So let's go into key dates and transits. I love dates and transits. And so first major one, everyone's talking about it. Astrology's been talking about it for years. Saturn will conjunct Neptune. This does not happen very often. This happens once every hundreds and hundreds of years. So in our lifetime, this doesn't happen. Saturn and Neptune meet together, of course, right? Happens every 30 or so years, but not in Aries, right? This has been every sort of like a few hundred years this happens, right? So this is really rare, especially at 0 degrees. This is the equinox point, the beginning of our seasons, right? And the start of Aries too, right? This is a powerful blend because talk about Saturn, so this is about going after what you want, having a plan. Neptune is about your dreams, right? So it's like, okay, well, on one side we have Neptune, which is about dream, manifestation, imagination, creativity, dissolving on boundaries. Saturn is about, I need boundaries, I need structure, I need discipline. So this is about marrying this all together. This is about Neptune is like, you should absolutely, Neptune is like, go after what you want, call it all in, dream big, the universe wants to bless you, hang on to that faith of spirituality. Saturn's like, okay, that's what you want. This is what you want to do. Let's make a plan. We're going to go for it. Aries, go for it. Saturn, let's do the hard thing. Because stepping out of your comfort zone, going for after what you want, that requires you to think outside the box, to step outside your comfort zone, to do things that no one's done before, to do things your friends haven't done before, your family hasn't done before, to going against the grain, right? To believe in yourself and have unwavering faith that your dreams will manifest, even when you can't see the results all the time. It's like you going forward, taking small steps, taking inspired action, and having unwavering faith in the universe at the same time. Saturn conjunct Neptune starts. This will happen February the 20th, right? This is the first major thing that happens, right? Later on in the year, Saturn will sextile Pluto, another powerhouse planet, signaling deep transformation, a hard reset and restructuring, right? Breaking down on the old. Pluto is destruction. Saturn's like, let's go for it. Saturn's giving you the hammer, right? Pluto's like, let's go, let's burn this shit to the ground. All right, regeneration. This is about reinvention, your self-image, who you are, your career, your personal power. This is all about that, right? Later on in the year, in the summer, Saturn will trine Jupiter, absolutely gorgeous, because Jupiter is blessings and abundance. Saturn is long-term plans and goals, right? This is bringing you, you're going to start to, if you start to do the work, when we get into August, the end of August, September, the Saturn trine to Jupiter will give you the glimmer of discipline and responsibility, and ambition will all sync together and help you grow and expand. Jupiter grows and expands wherever it is. It's exalted. This is an exaltation planet, right? I feel like I'm saying that, yeah. At this point, Jupiter would have moved out of exaltation into the sign of Leo. All right. However, a trine is a trine. A trine is harmonious aspects. Long-term goals will be coming into fruition and accelerating. All right. Throughout this transit, throughout Saturn in Aries, we are going to be having sextiles and trines to the north node. Right. North and south node are going to be these are the ecliptic points. Saturn will be harmoniously aspecting these the north and south nodes. Right, Rahu and Ketu are going to be aspecting the dragon's tail and dragon's head, the devouring desire to want more. Right, our ego, our letting go of. The north node and south node will be aspecting Saturn in a way that is harmonious. So it's about okay, the north node is about what I want, where I want to get to, where I want to be going. Right, my goals, my dreams, my desires. South node is where can I release what's no longer serving me. Right, and Saturn will be harmoniously helping at these ecliptic points to go after what we want and achieve results, and to help us lovingly let go of anything or anyone no longer serving us, old dreams, old patterns, limited beliefs, behaviors, all that sort of stuff. Okay, so if you would like a personal reading with me, if you want me to look into your birth chart and look at your Saturn, how your Saturn's playing out, your Saturn story, because wherever Saturn wherever Saturn lies in your birth chart, it gives you your biggest challenges, right? But also unlocks your biggest gifts, talents, and blessings too, because it's your karma. The Saturn story is kind of why you're here. It's like your life purpose is wrapped around your Saturn placement. And so if you want me to look into your birth chart, I'll leave all the information in the show notes for you to book a reading with me. And we can go through that too, all right? If you've already had a reading with me before, I'd really strongly advise going into your Saturn reading. If not, if you haven't had a reading with me before, or you want a different style of reading where I love synergy reading. I love doing solar return readings too, where you forecast the future based on your solar return. We do Harari, predictive. There's so many things that I do. So just hit me up, right? Because I do so many readings. If you've not had a reading with me before, I really strongly suggest getting a birth chart analysis first, all right? Where we dive into your birth chart, you get a recorded video. I literally will sit down, look at your chart, and record usually like an hour and a half video if you look at your birth chart in great detail, all right? So I'm going to go through the rising signs and talk about this transit, how to affect you, how to work with it, etc., etc. And we're going to pull out a card too. I'm going to use the. I've been using deck so much lately. I love this Cosmic Tarot. It's very Saturnian because it's like really old 80s deck, I think. I really love it. It's cool. So we'll go sign by sign, and we'll also do the tarot for weeks too. Okay. So let's get into it. If you're Aries, rising, sun, and moon, you're going to be the star of the show. Saturn will be moving into your first house, right? So when Saturn moves into the first house, right, it's going to be for like a 3-year stint. First of all, I'm born with this placement, so I have the first house Saturn in my birth chart natally, so I know what this is like. This is a huge, huge placement. Anytime you have like a planet hitting into one of the angular houses, the first, the fourth, the seventh, and 10th, it's going to be serious, right? It's going to be a huge challenge. It's going to bring added responsibility to you, Aries. All right, it's going to ask you to refine, to kind of like, it's almost like a wake up call when you have this transit, and kind of like asking you to get serious and to grow up. No, it's like a heavy transit. It really is. And when I see Saturn going through the first house, I've had really close friends of mine. Ask your Pisces people, all right, because they've really lived this transit, and I think they're really happy to see Saturn go, all right. And so ask your Pisces people, because they've lived through this transit. They've just had the last 3 years with Saturn in their first house, where they have really gone through huge, huge overhaul when it comes to their beliefs about who they are, first house, their image, how they look, how they are perceived to the world. And because it's the first house, it's also going to be squaring the work house and the home house, as well as your opposition to your relationships. And so, like I said in the intro, Saturn likes to test, right? And so this will test relationships. This will test your work and your career and your purpose as to why you're here, right? What am I doing in my life? Is this my purpose? Is this all there is, right? This is about my relationships. Saturn in the first house will pull the rose-tinted glasses off your relationships. Like, well, this is actually what it really is, okay? And if Anything that's not, is not on your for your highest vibration will fall by the wayside because Saturn wants to cut, end, and sever and remove anything which is not on your highest vibration for you to live out your karmic destiny, right? And so it's going to be very much a sobering aspect where you can be like, okay, I really see people who they really are now. And even though you're just going to be evolving, because when Saturn goes into the first house, you go through a spiritual evolution too, because you're up leveling. All right, Saturn in the first house, right, is so good if this is what you want. For if you want to lose weight, Saturn in the first house will do this. Saturn starves wherever it is, so it'll kind of dry out. And literally, Saturn in the first house, I've seen my Pisces people lose so much weight through stress and anxiety, but also through discipline, because Saturn will give you discipline, right? So when you have Saturn in the first house, it's kind of like when it's in the sixth house, where it'll give you like the drive and determination to stick to a diet, to stick to a workout routine, to consciously eat better, because you will be less hungry. Saturn in the first house does that, all right, and you'll kind of refine your look and like make your image more adult almost. Do you know what I mean? But ultimately, this is about getting serious about your goals, about your life purpose, about what you want, why you're here. You may transform your home. Saturn in the first house, because it's square in the fourth house, you may change homes. There may be tension around fourth house matters, 10th house matters. This T square which will be forming will give you challenges when it comes to your career, your home life, because it wants you to evolve. Saturn wants you to clear out and declutter what is not on your highest vibration. Okay, so let's look at your tarot cards. Let's have a look. Yeah, so I love this because the Chariots, right? This is such an Aries card. Aries is like, I am one. Do you see these wild horses? This is Aries, right? This is Aries, and like you are charging into distance, charging in your life. The Emperor sat on the throne, turned to direct the wild horses. Well, that's Saturn. Saturn is like, I don't want to diminish your power. I don't want you to not have fun. Well, kind of does. I don't want you to. I don't want to stamp out your fire, but I want you to harness this incredible energy that you've got to greater good. You know, where are you giving too much of? Where are you giving too much of to people, things, places, whatever it is, right? Which is really isn't what you're here to do. You know, this is about refinement. This is about organization. This is about reining it in and going in the direction of your life purpose with so much conviction, and also finding your voice and knowing that you matter. When Saturn's in the first house, this is about self-belief, right? Believing in yourself and having the confidence to know that you are worthy, all right? You are worthy of all the things that you want, need, and desire. Do you believe that? Do you believe that you are someone of value, or do you undermine yourself? Do you believe that you are worthy and deserving of all the things that you want, need, and desire, or do you downplay that? I'm just tilting my head because I got a notification on my phone. Yeah, and I'm saying this because I have Saturn in the first house, and one of my Saturn is exalted in Libra, right, and it's at 22 degrees, right, and it forms a T square to my nodes, and so for me, it's about believing in myself, to speaking my truth and getting my voice out there, and believing that I'm important. And Saturn in the first house is your lesson is to believe that you have a voice and you're important too. All right. Love that for you, Aries. This is a really, really big transit. Okay, so save this video and come back to it. Like I said, if you'd like a personal reading with me, please hit me up. And I would so love it if you'd like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Okay, so if you're a Taurus, rising, sun, and moon, for you, Saturn will be transiting, taking up residency in the 12th house, all right? Moving into the planet of karma is moving into the house of karma, right? Karmic destiny. And so over the space of the next 2.5, 3 years, you're going to be coming across a lot of transformational experiences because the Lord of Karma is going through the house of your karmic destiny. So there's going to be like loads of pivotal moments over the next 2.5 to 3 years where you are going to be questioning why you're here. What is the point of all this, right? Um, and also, when Saturn goes into the house of the hidden house, this can have you being isolated or feeling isolated or wanting to be isolated from everybody else around you, from your local circle, for the people you would normally hang around with, for the people you associate with, and just feeling like you're the black sheep or the outsider, all right? Because Saturn in the 12th house is about retreat, it's about spirituality, it's about taking the time to look after and go within. Saturn in the 12th house can be a really good sign for you Taurus guys to invest in your mental wellness. All right, because the 12th house is a hidden house, the mental house, our mental wellness, our mental illness. This is about retreat, solitude. It's about institutions, right? And so this is about, okay, let me work with my energy, let me work with anxiety and depression, because I want to, because we all as humans have mental health. If you have a brain, you have mental health, right? If you have a body, you have physical health. And so it's your job to nurture that and look after that, right? So it's not about, oh, I need to be a virtue or positivity. Well, no, you need to honor that, you're a multifaceted human being with a wide range of emotions and feelings and thoughts, which you get to control, all right? And whatever thought you choose that comes through the net, you get to choose again, all right? And it's about honoring those feelings, riding those feelings, right? Going through it, sitting with it, not having to heal it or anything like that. Saturn will have you sitting with your thoughts in 12th house, really feeling it, right? Going through it, right? Because you're going to be cut, ending, severing, anything or anyone who's no longer serving you, and you will be feeling isolated and alone because you're the 12th house transit is about transformation. It's about, what do I? It's already left the 11th house where you did a number on your friendship circles. Now it's okay. Well, I want to go. I'm going to find sovereignty from within. Who am I? Who do I want to be? So it's very much about that. It's very much about that. All right, for Taurus people. Let's look at your card, Taurus. This Saturn transit. I love this. So, as I was finishing off the astrology section, I was like, I want to talk about the 12th house being the house of international travel as well, and also you have the World card, and so not only will all of you guys be going on a deep spiritual journey, you may be called upon to go on an actual physical long distance journey too. The world is here. This is about travel. This is about expansion. Right? This is in Aries. That's in Aries too. This is about, okay, what are my biggest goals, dreams, and desires? I can absolutely achieve those. Saturn in the 12th house might have you doubting that, but if you can work on, right, transforming those limiting beliefs, the 12th house is how we speak to ourselves mentally. So Saturn is like, okay, let's clean up and organize our mental declutter. Let's declutter the mind, because we have manifestation, we have goals, we have dreams, we have desires, we have this whole world as our oyster to go after. You can absolutely have and call in all the things that you want. You are supported by the universe. Do the hard work, do the things. Saturn will support you if you are prepared to go the long haul. I'm not really worried about that with Taurus people, because you guys are solid. I feel like even though Taurus can be lazy, you're not shy of routine. You're not shy of doing what's hard and doing what's difficult, and slow and steady wins the race is the Taurus motto, right? It's the same motto for Saturn too. So I'm not worried about that for you guys, all right? If you would love a personal reading with me, I'd love it if you'd hit me up and I'll create your birth chart. And of course, I would love it if you'd like, subscribe, and share the channel. Thank you. If you're a Cancer, rising, sun, and moon, you guys are going to be having Saturn going through your 11th house. And when Saturn transits the 11th house, this is your networks, your circle, your friendship groups, And so some of you guys are going to be coming into contact with people who are going to be a lot older than you, a lot wiser than you, more spiritual than you, because you want to learn and grow from them. I feel like Saturn going through the 11th house, you guys are not going to be interested in like small talk, in face surface level conversation. You guys want to go deep. Saturn in 12th house is going to be having you being surrounded by people who've like lived, who are knowledgeable, who've done the things that you want, who are going to help you grow spiritually. Or Saturn in karma, right? Saturn is spiritual. Saturn is discipline and structure. This is about you getting in touch with people who are going to show you how you can achieve and go after your goals, because the 11th house is your manifestation house of money and fortune as well. So if you're prepared to do the hard work, if you're prepared to connect with the right people and cut away the dead weight holding you back, Saturn will absolutely bless you. All right. And why I say older as well, because wherever Saturn falls can give you like an age gap when it comes to connection with people, and so you may experience groups and bonds with people who are either much younger than you or much older than you generally. All right. Saturn in the 11th house is about you going after your goals and dreams and desires, because this is the house of goals, dreams and desires, right? This is also saying to you, okay, if this is what you want, let's make a plan. Okay, let's make, because you're gonna have Neptune here too, right? Neptune's that manifestation. Saturn's like, look, let's manifest, but also let's make a fucking plan. What are we gonna do every day to go after our dreams? What small action steps can we take, right? Manifestation is not enough. We need to take inspired action with Saturn being here. Saturn does not want to diminish your dreams. We want you to help build them, but you are going to have to physically build those foundational blocks. You may end a dream thinking, you know what, I thought I wanted this thing, but I don't want it anymore. Because Saturn's like, yeah, let's kill that because there's something better that you want. And you're allowed to change. When it comes to dreams, goals, and desires, you're allowed to change those at any given moment, okay? Because you're changing all the time, so your goals can change, and that's absolutely okay too, you know? Or it may mean that the dream is still the same, but the journey is going to be different, and that's okay too, as well, right? There was something I was going to say, but it just escaped me. We're talking about goals, dreams, desires, going after your goals, dreams, desires. Yeah, and so this is one of the houses of money, and this is about stacking cash, making that paper, calling it all in, and you may end friendships, right? Because this is the 11th house of friendship circles. You may join new ones too. All right, this is this whole duality, and also as well, you know, we are ever changing. And I say to people, you know, if people leave your life, that does not mean you have to be an enemy with them, unless you've had some history that's caused that. But people are going to come into your life as characters of your story all the time. Some of those characters are going to be in the whole trilogy of your life. Some of them are going to be like leading characters. Some of them are going to be like supporting. Some of them are just going to be like cameo appearances, and that's absolutely okay. Let people do that. All right. Just as you're going to be the same in their lives too. All right. Everyone's on their karmic journey. Your tarot is Temperance, honey. Oh my god, yes, gorgeous. This is about being guarded, being protected. Know that. Um, when I talked about Saturn in the 11th house, I was saying to you guys that we are going to be talking about you connecting with people who are, you know, experiencing you. I also thought about mentors and someone who's going to be mentoring you. And so I feel like with Temperance being here, you know, Temperance is a guardian angel card. So you're going to be meeting people because it's Saturn energy, right? Saturn is karma. Saturn is like karmic events. So you're going to have karmic fated events with people who are going to be like guardian angels to you. Or it could even be that you're going to literally be guided by your guardian angels as well. All right, trust that you are. The ultimate message is that trust that yes, life is changing, things are going to be shifting, there's going to be endings, but also new beginnings too, and you're always going to be guided and protected the right way. All right, beautiful. I love that for you. I'm just trying to think what I did. Yeah, so I'm on Cancer next. Geminis, if you love what I just said, I would love if you would like, subscribe, and share. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, of course, hit me up in the show notes. Thank you. Okay, so if you're a Cancer, rising sun and moon, 14th of February, we have the North Node moving into your 10th house of your career, your life purpose, your parents, your work, your career, how you're seen by the public. Saturn is moving here into this house, into this sign, into this part of your sky for the next 3 years, right? Girl, this is going to be also tied in with your work story, your career, your purpose. It's one of the houses of money, right? This is your divine purpose. And so this is about you getting serious about what you want. And if it's not about career, it's about, well, what am I going to be known for? What's my legacy, right? And house? What do I want to leave behind? If it's about work and career, it's like, what do I want to be known for? Is my career lighting me up, right? And this is about doing the hard work. Whatever you want to go, whatever you want to go for, 'cause Neptune's going to be here as well. Whatever you want to go for, you can absolutely go for it, right? There's nothing stopping you. You are going to have to do the work, and there's going to be challenges, right? Saturn 10 house, like there's going to be challenges here. Saturn, however, does like to inhabit the 10th house because it is the natural Capricornian house, right? So Saturn likes to be here. It likes to be here. It really does. All right. And you guys, yeah, and you guys, this is making a T square to your ascendant as well. And so there's going to be like challenges when it comes to work, when it comes to career, when it comes to people that you work with. All right. So there could be like obstacles and blockages along the way to go after what you want. Do not let that deter you. All right. If one door closes, another one will open, the right one will open for you. Nothing that's not meant for you will not pass you by. Okay. Saturn in the 10th house is added responsibility as well. So you can get a pay rise, promotion, which will come with, yes, loads more money, but loads more responsibility too. Okay. Uh, the 10th and 4th house axis are the houses of your parents too. And so we do have Saturn transit in here as well. There can be like an emphasis on your caregivers, all right? And they could be going through some stuff as well, which is gonna impact you too. All right, so be mindful of that as well. Saturn is all about time, karma, cycles, endings, and that sort of stuff. And this is the house of parents and grandparents too. So bear that in mind as well. Okay. But ultimately, if you are prepared to do the hard work, do the hard thing, do the difficult thing, go after what you want, you will be rewarded. All right. It won't be overnight, but it's something you have to work. Saturn doesn't grant overnight success. It rewards people who do the hard task and go long. All right, longevity. But ultimately, it's structured abundance, which will be long lasting. All right. You have the Three of Cups, my darling. So this is so amazing because when we talk about going after what you want, you know, we live on a planet. Without being too deep, we live on a planet with billions of other people, right? And the Three of Cups is saying for you to go after what you want, you also need to reach out and collaborate and nurture relationships too, because the Three of Cups is the celebration card. So it's saying to you, you know what, you're gonna have so much to celebrate. Do you have people to celebrate with? Or are you on your lonesome, right? Are you allowing others into your stratosphere? Reach out, collaborate, because actually you don't have to do the hard thing alone. You are more supported than you realize. If you'd like a personal reading with me, I'll leave all the information in the show notes for you. If you'd like me to read your birth chart, tarot, whatever that is, I'll leave all the information for you to do so. And I would love it, of course, if you'd like to subscribe and share the channel. Thank you. Okay, so where are we? If you are, I was counting in my head. If you are a Leo, rising, sun, and moon, for you, you have Saturn moving into your ninth house on the 14th of February for the next 3 years. You had a taste of this last summer where Saturn dipped into Aries. Well, now it's going to be here for the long haul. It's here for 3 years, right? It's going to be testing you when it comes to your spirituality, when it comes to your beliefs. It's like, what do you actually believe in? Okay. Then the ninth house is tied into your spiritual beliefs, your religion. It's also higher education too. So some of you may decide to, you know what, I'm gonna go back to or start a degree program or a university program, something like that, which takes a few years. Saturn is a 3 year transit. This is something you have to do all the time to achieve the goal. When you go to university or college course, whatever, you don't get the accolade overnight. You have to show up all the time. You have to listen to the long lectures. You have to do all the work behind the scenes, the homework, the coursework, the dissertations. It's that sort of vibe, right? And that could be like a literal physical manifestation of it, or it could be, this is my goal, my dream, this is what I want to do. Not Pisces spirituality, my goals, my dreams, and my desires. I'm gonna have to show up every day and take small, big leaps, whatever, and believe in myself and keep going forward to go after what I want. Then and only then will Saturn bless me. All right. You may come into contact with people who are gonna help you with your beliefs, because the ninth house is like spiritual mentors, it's like therapists, it's like spiritual gurus, it's lecturers, it's people who you learn from. When you may step into your timeline where you want to be that person and you're going to share your knowledge with the world, you might have something you want to share, express. All right, Saturn is like, you need to believe in yourself for you to do that. Okay. The ninth house also rules courts and legal battles, and so you may have more dealings with the courts of law. All right, with papers, visas, documentations, that sort of thing, and it's going to be things you're going to have to keep going over and over again. Like, it's not going to be an overnight thing where it's going to be done and dusted. Something's going to be dragged out long. All right, but if you are doing the hard thing and doing the work and you're being organised and structured, you will prevail. The ninth house, like I said, is hiring people who are going to help you with things like courts, solicitors, lawyers, whatever you want to call them. Visa specialists, that sort of thing, right? Passport people, all that sort of stuff. Ninth house is travel to. This is the energy of the ninth house and what you need to be calling in. All right. You may sign because he's like contractual, not in the seventh house way. You may sign something. You may sign something which is like a really important documentation. This is ninth house stuff. All right. The card that you have, Leo, for this transit. Let's have a look. Is the Eight of Wands. All right. So this is about, okay, Saturn in the ninth house. We have the eight of Wands here, is saying to you, you have so many things that you want to achieve, so many things that you want to do. I want you to hyper focus on one thing, right? What is the area? What is the one thing I want to achieve, right? What do I want to? What can I? Instead of firing all cylinders, can I harness my energy into this one project, into this one goal that I have, because I can give it my all. I'm going all in on that because we have this scattered fire energy. Saturn's like, let's rain all this in. You're a fire sign. Let's harness this fire, right? Harness this fire so we can call in your biggest goals, dreams, and desires. But we need to focus on one huge goal, breaking it down into small steps, and then going for it, right? Like I said, save this video, come back to it, because this is a long transit, so it makes more sense to you as we experience and live through Saturn going through your ninth house. If you'd like me to read your birth chart, of course, hit me up in the show notes. And I would love it if you would like, subscribe, and share this channel. Thank you. So, if you are a Virgo, rising sun and moon, Saturn on the 14th of February, moving into the sign of Aries, for you, it's your natal 8th house, the house of transformation, the house of debt, money, other people's money, right? Death, rebirth, transformation. So we can't not talk about this. Saturn going to the 8th house. Yes, it can bring, endings, death. It can bring that, right? Especially, and usually Saturn does it. This is like people who are like, naturally towards the end of their life. It's not like suddenly like a Uranus thing where it's like, I'm shocked unexpected. This is like, okay, because actually cycles, right? So someone's naturally coming to the end of their life cycle, right? This is something that, this is part of our incarnation. We're not what's the word I'm looking for? We're not immortal in this form, even though our souls may be, right? Also, this is the house of debt and consolidation of people's money. And so Saturn does enjoy being in the money houses, right? It will have you reviewing your finances. It's like, girl, but you're a Virgo, right? So I feel like you're quite good at being mindful with money. But in the eighth house, like, let's get organized with our finances. You may take on a responsibility. Like the eighth house is like, I want to take on a mortgage. I want to remortgage. I'm gonna ask the bank for a big loan, because it's like a big when you have a Saturn transit, it gives you a big responsibility. So it could be that you maybe inherit, money, because it's the house of inheritance too. All right. The eighth house can bring challenges when it comes to like sex and intimacy. With Saturn being here as well, it's like, okay, if you're seeing somebody, you might want to, because it's the intimate relationships, you might decide to, I want to take this little seriously, my relationship seriously. I have seen Saturn in the eighth house help end relationships which are already on the edge anyway, to make space for more aligned connection. All right, but Saturn in the eighth house can sometimes either it can be like I have this huge wall around me, I don't want anybody in, or it's like, okay, look, we've been in a situationship. I need to take things seriously. I want to get serious about my connection with you. I want to get serious about our shared resources, our finances, how we do money. You may want to restructure if you work with clientele, because that has clients, you may want to reorganize and structure how you make money and how you receive money from them, from your beneficiaries, for example. All right. What else do you want to say about this? Getting serious about your spirituality as well. This is the house of death, transformation, the occult, the taboo. Or else you may even get serious about, getting into tarot, astrology, that sort of thing. I think it's like, not mainstream. All right. Your card for this transit, Virgos. You guys just having the eclipses finishing on your sign as well. Yeah. So you have the Seven of Cups. Look at the imagery on this. This is like eighth house shit, right? So, like I said, this is about, we were talking about the eighth house, intimacy, it's sex, it's passion, it's connection. Virgo, your task, Saturn is the taskmaster, is to allow intimacy in, right? That, yes, that can come under physical intimacy too, but it can also be, am I able to break down the walls and barriers around being emotionally vulnerable, to connect through emotion, through my feelings, through how I feel, how I speak. Can I connect? Can I let people know what's going on in my mind? Right? Can I connect with other people in that kind of way? Huge transformation when it comes to relationships. All right, letting go of. Letting go of anything that's no longer serving you. Your base, I don't normally do a base card, but because I can see it, we have death and the lovers. Huge transformation when it comes to relationships. Huge transformation when it comes to your abundance story. All right. So be open to receiving. Be open to receiving. Okay. If you'd like a personal reading with me, I'll leave all the information in the show notes for you to do so. That'd be a birth chart reading, a tarot reading, have a look at what I have to offer. I'd love to work with you. And also, I would love it if you would like, subscribe, and share the channel. Thank you. All right, where are we? Oh, so if you are a Libra rising, Sun and Moon, I'm one of you. I'm a Libra rising. We have Saturn going into. We've already had a taste of this. Saturn going into the seventh house. Right, the seventh house. We can't not talk about this. First of all, you're a Libra, so we can't not talk about love and relationships. Love and relationships are why we're here, right? Especially Libra risings. You know what I'm talking about. The seventh house is the house of love and relationships too, right? And so Saturn is here. Saturn is coming into the seventh house. Saturn does well here, right? Saturn is exalted in the seventh house. Okay, it's not amazing in Libra. It's sorry, in Aries. It's in full, but it is in the seventh house, and the seventh house is a Libra house, and we're having an opposition to Libra. All right, I always say, because Saturn is exalted in our sign, Saturn does actually act as a beneficiary. It actually can bring more blessings than it does to the other signs. Also, check out if you have a day chart or a night chart, because Saturn is going to play it differently if you do so. Okay. When Saturn goes through the seventh house, because it's to do with relationships will be tested. All right. Saturn wants to test, right? And if a relationship is already like on shaky ground, usually you'll find that the Saturn will clear this away for you, so it will call in more aligned partnerships, right? If your relationship is already well nurtured and you're working on it together to do so, right, Saturn will make it stronger. Saturn is strong, right? It's time, karma, discipline, right? It's doing the hard things, having the hard conversations, working at something. So you're gonna have to work at your relationships. Important relationships you have to work on, all right? The ones that are not meant to last, they will fall by the wayside in order for you to grow and evolve and call in the love that you truly deserve. All right. If you're single, you can bring in partnerships which are going to be Saturn always brings age difference or age gap relationships, and so it can be someone who be much older than you or younger than you. Right? It can be like 7 years. So you get something Saturn cycles. Or Saturn cycles are in sevens, and so it can be like a 7 year difference. I've seen it in where it can be like 14, 21 years. Like yeah, it can be like a big difference in age, right? Or attracting a partner where you're going to relearn from and grow from. All right, or someone who's more mature than you, someone who's going to help you learn and grow. Okay, someone quite solid and serious. Okay, this is Saturn in the seventh house. Um, I really talks about if you're already in a partnership, this is about establishing that bond, going further with it, and waiting it in, giving it a firm foundation. The seventh house is also to do with business and contracts. And so some of you may sign really important contracts over the next 3 years when it comes to work and career. I myself have already started this and start to see this play out in my own life. So, you know, I can vouch for that already, where there's important contracts coming in to change the trajectory and to call in even more abundance and long lasting as well. Long lasting, you know, Saturn likes to bless. It's going to bless you, Libra, when it comes to work and career, when it comes to contractual agreements, when it comes to working with other people. Libra, your abundance will come in, your money will always glow up when you're working with other people, all right? Because we are the scales, we are balanced. We need to be in harmony with others. We can absolutely do everything on our own, but we can increase our abundant vision tenfold when we collaborate, because we are the sign of collaboration. Okay, so let's get into your card, Libra. Oh, love, love, love. Honey, we have the magician here. We have the magician. Look, you are all seeing, right? Wherever you want, visualize it, call it all in, harness it in. Also, you're going to be seeing people for who they truly are. All right. So we talk about relationships. You trust. If people are showing you, believe them. Don't fall for the potential. Should believe what they're showing you, honey. Believe it. If people don't lie, right? If they're showing you one thing and saying something else, believe what they show you, okay? But also, the magician is about you have everything within you to manifest whatever it is that you want. In the realms of, we'll talk about Saturn in the seventh house, in the realms of your relationships, in the realms of your collaborations too. You're truly blessed. You are highly skilled. You are, you know, sought after. Believe in yourself, trust yourself too, okay? Love that for us. Oh my god, manifest all the things. If you would like a personal reading with me, hit me up, right? I'll leave all the information in the show notes for you to do so, whether that be a birth chart reading, astrology reading, a tarot reading, whatever it is, right? And of course, I would love it if you'd like to subscribe and share the channel and leave a comment too. All right, thank you. Okay, so if you where are we? Yeah. If you are a Scorpio rising sun and moon, you are going to be having Saturn transiting through your sixth house. I've already had this already um, as a Libra, but Scorpios, you guys are going to be having from the 14th of February, 13th of February, all the way into like 3 years, right? You're going to have Saturn going through your sixth house. So the sixth house is about organization, right? Your work, it's money. Saturn likes to be here, yay. Saturn likes to get organized. This is the house of organization. Your work, your career, the people that you employ, your pets. This is about your diet, what you consume, right? Health habits. When I had Saturn going to the sixth house, I worked so fucking hard. Like, I worked so hard, right? I'm still working really hard. The Saturn's about to leave. As I'm recording, this is about to leave my sixth house, right? I've worked so hard, but I've also made a ton of cash too. But I've had to do the work. It has not been easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a battle. But Saturn likes to reward you. If you're prepared to do the hard thing and go after what you want and do the work, you're going to be blessed. And so, yeah, go after what you want and do the hard thing. My fitness has been really, really good because I've been really focused on my fitness. Saturn likes to help you strip weight. If you want to lose weight, Saturn in sixth house will help you do that. All right. Saturn in sixth house is about when I had Saturn going to the sixth house, I stopped drinking. Right, I'm super healthy anyway, but I literally stopped drinking. All right, it's about healthy habits. So you may even say, you know what, I'm not going to drink. or I'm gonna cut out chocolate, or I'm gonna like go vegan, for example. You know, it's about being really healthy. It's about sticking to a health routine. So I've been going. My fitness has been really, really good. Right, I've got a really good fitness routine with Saturn being in sixth house. I really love that. It really, really got me organised. Getting your day-to-day shit organised too. Saturn will help you with that. Absolutely help you. I really like Saturn in sixth house. I think it's a really great transit. And I think you guys will enjoy it too. If you want to get organised with your work and calling that cash, calling that money, and get serious about the money that you want to create, Saturn will do that. All right. If you want to work on your health and get more health and get more fitness, Saturn will do that. Saturn in the sixth house, you know, will want you to take care of your body. So there may be more. I mean, this not happened to me, but I've seen other people. There's been more hospital visits, because Saturn can weaken. So really looking up, because I looked after my health, I was fine. But I had other Libra risings in my I have a lot of Libra risings in my life who didn't do that, and they had a lot of like health issues going on. So with that, Saturn is like, okay, if you're not going to do the work, then you're going to have the health issues, right? Let's look at your card. Yeah, so with Saturn going to the sixth house, so much more responsibility when it comes to your work and career. All right. Also money too. Oh, you got one pull out. What have you got? You have. You know what? I'm not going to do that. I never do pull out cards. I always do the top cards. I don't know why I did that. So I'm always going to do my pull out. I always do my top cards. Yes. Okay. Five of Pentacles. Look, if ever there was a sixth house card, this is it. The Five of Pentacles is saying to you, it's time to get serious about your money. It's time to get serious about your finances. It's time to get serious and organized about the money that you spend, where you're spending it. It's not about being like miserly and tight, but it's about being a bit more frugal and investing and looking after your health and looking after your habits so you can be the best version of you. Saturn wants you to be organized, because the Five of Pentacles is one of the traditional cards which can indicate like ill health and sickness. And so this is about, okay, let me get organized. Let me look after let me love myself so much that I want to make my health and my routines, my day to day such a priority that I'm loving myself in that way, where I'm going to get up early, I'm going to do my spiritual practice, I'm going to walk, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to drink water, I'm going to do fresh fruit, all that sort of stuff. This is about getting on it, because that's one of the greatest acts of self-love. All right. So Scorpio, if you would like a personal reading with me, I'll leave all the information in the show notes for you to do so. I can read your birth chart, tarot, whatever you would like. And I would love it if you'd like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you. Okay, so who's next? Oh, I know. If you are a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, for you, you have on the 14th, on the 13th of February, Saturn will move into Aries, into your fifth house. So I had this transit a few years ago, and it played out in a few different ways. And Saturn going first, I'm a fifth houser, which is the fifth house. If you don't know, is all about fun, creativity, sex, dating, passion, fun, and joy. Saturn is at the opposite of those things, right? That is not to say that you're not going to have fun, but it's about getting serious about what you want. So for me, for example, because I have a huge stellium of planets in the fifth house, I got serious about my creative passions, right? The things that I'm passionate about, my creativity, I got really serious about those. And because I did that, I actually made probably the most money I've ever made in my life doing it, because I actually ended up monetizing my skill and talent because I did the work. This is fifth house shit. The fifth house is your skill and talent. Before the Saturn, I was really fearing the fifth house Saturn transit, because prior to that, I was really, really promiscuous, right? Nothing wrong with that. Or here for it. As soon as Saturn went into my fifth house, dead. But what happened was, I decided to, I met somebody, a very Saturnian relationship, where we actually decided to be monogamous to one another and have a serious relationship. So Saturn fifth house is like, actually, I'm going to go from not just frivolous dating. I actually want to get serious with somebody or some buddies. you know. And yeah, it was really, it's a kind of like a very somber growing up at transit, but actually it rewarded through stability in career, stability in love, stability in the money that I made, having the confidence to believe in myself and my business. This was the fifth house transit. Sorry, the fifth house transit. Yeah. Um, let's get your cards. Let's do your cards, Sagittarius. All right. I do see with Saturn in the fifth house, right? If it's something you're thinking about, this can be one of the transits for pregnancy, because Saturn in the fifth house brings pregnancy, because Saturn brings responsibility. All right. If it's not pregnancy to a child, you may give birth to projects. I gave birth to a new project when I did this. Had this transit. You know, I think I launched my. I'm sure I launched my my astrology channel during this transit. Two of Swords, honey. This is about what is that I want, right? When we have this crossroads card coming up in the fifth house energy, it's like, okay, on one hand, Sagittarius, I want to have fun, enjoy my life. But on the second, and the other sword is like, well, you know what? I'd love a bit of stability. I wouldn't mind constant sources of income. I wouldn't mind a nourishing, long-lasting love affair. You know, both are correct. There's no right or wrong with these stories. They both hold their place. Their key is, what do you want? Yeah, what are you calling it? And I feel like I talked about this in the intro. Saturn is going to be making aspects to the eclipses, right? And I feel like when every time Saturn makes an aspect to the eclipse, or whenever there are eclipses, there's going to be fated events around fifth house matters for you, which is to do with your money, your luck, your abundance, love, sex, dating. So bear that in mind. Save this video, come back to it. If you'd like a personal reading with me, I leave all the information in the show notes for you to do so. I would love it if you'd like, subscribe, and share this channel. Thank you. Okay, so where are we? Oh, if you are a Capricorn, rising, sun and moon, 13th February, Saturn moves into the sign of Aries, and for you, this is your fourth house, the house of your home. All right, guys, you are going to be laying down foundations when it comes to where you live. Right, there could be like shock endings when it comes to where you live. There could be new beginnings. All right, some of you guys are going to be moving home. Right, you'll be thinking about moving somewhere. You may buy a new home. If you buy a home, you like an old property, because that's in rules like things that are like old and vintage. This wouldn't be like a new build. It would be like an old, like traditional building or house, right? So Saturn in the fourth house, great for moving home. All right, I want to move home. Let me just think back. When I had this transit, I literally moved into an old building. I literally moved into an old building, and I actually moved into a converted bank. Because Saturn rules banks, right? And so I moved into the old bank. So yeah, that was literal. Also, the fourth house rules family, right? Family karma, family story, family lineage. I went through, when I had the transit, I went through therapy. I did so much work when it comes to family trauma, family lineage, and family healing. And these are to say you have to do that too. But there's going to be instances where there's going to be talks and family stuff is going to be really kind of like the butt of tension, because Saturn wants you to address and to rewrite your karmic destiny and to heal family wounds. And so, the term ancestral trauma, you're here to heal that, right? And this is the chance that will help you do it. There can be some Saturn puts distance sometimes, so there might be distance between you and your family and the people that you call home. You might be distance. There may be distance from your home. You know what I mean? Um, I do find with Saturn going through the angular houses, there can be like, especially because the fourth house rules grandparents and parents too. So if they're of a really old age, for example, then they would naturally pass. This transit would do that. You know what I mean? This is not like, I said this to Virgos with the eighth house. It's not like a sudden shock, surprise death. It's like, okay, well, my great grandma was 100 and something. She was going to go, right? Like, this is that sort of energy. All right. When I had Saturn going through the fourth house, I think I had lost uh, a grandparent who's like, my granddad was like not in their 90s, for example. So, this is the energy that we're working with, really. Okay. Let's talk about your tarot. Oh, let's have 1 second. Just jumped out. Let's put that. I don't really do stack jumping, so I like to shuffle and get it out that way. So for you, Capricorn, this is your ruler, right? So, work with the energy. Love this card for you. You have judgment, big news. Saturn is going to reward you. Saturn's blessings. Um, Big news when it comes to home, when it comes to security. If it's not your actual physical home, it's like you feeling rooted and grounded somewhere. All right, you're gonna have to do the work, honey. This is not an easy transit. You're gonna have to do the work. If you want to be somewhere, if you want to like lay down roots, you're gonna have to do the work for that. You really are. All right. Whether that be securing the home that you want, securing the area that you want, securing the country that you want, whatever it is, you're gonna have to do the work. All right. Huge transformations coming in. Huge transformation. Trust that whatever you're going through, trust that the universe has got your back. Okay, even when it's hard for you to see. All right. If you'd like a personal reading with me, I'll leave all the information in the show notes for you to do so. All right. And if you have the time to like, subscribe, share, thumbs up this video, I'd so love that. Thank you so much. Okay, where are we? Let me have my tea. Okay, so Aquarius, rising, sun and moon. I am one of you, Aquarius sun. You have on the 13th of February, Aquarius, Saturn, moving, our ruler, moving into the third house, right? Your communication zone, your sibling zone, your travel zone, right? Off the bat, I just want to say you may decide to just like get rid of your car, right? Because you want to like get a new car. Because Saturn can bring challenges. So like, if this is one of the challenges where there could be like car issues. So just get rid of it. Get yourself a nice old car. Saturn in the third house, nice old car, or a black, like a big black kind of like sturdy number. All right. Saturn in the third house, okay. You are going to be glued to your local area. All right. This is not one of those challenges where like where it's like Jupiter and Mercury, you're going to be traveling here and everywhere. You're going to be doing the hard work at home. I feel like you're going to be really like, grinding into your community, finding out where it is that you live, and doing all the work with that. You know what I mean? Really putting your energy into being rooted and grounded in where you are. You may decide to go back to university and college. Saturn in third house. It's kind of like not so much like a university, but you're going back to like learn a new skill. You know what I mean? Or actually doing the work daily. It could be like, do they have those things where you can do like, are they called like apprenticeships where you learn as you go along? That's that sort of thing. Um, Sibling relationships will be tested, or if it's not like that, your relationship tested, the lives of your siblings will be really going through it because Saturn in the third house. The third house for all siblings. Saturn is about testing, tribulation, doing the hard thing, um, karma, restriction, blockages, right? So siblings are going to be going through it. I also have the third house down as friends. I feel like because our friends can become like siblings, and I feel like they'll be tested too. Or it could be that you are going to be so busy doing you that your relationship to siblings, to friends, are going to be like secondary because you're so hyper focused on you and getting where you, which is there's nothing wrong with that. And for you to go after what you want, your goals, your dreams, your desires, Saturn's like, okay, honey, you got these big plans, but you're gonna have to show up and do the work. You're gonna have to say goodbye to friends and fun for a bit because you've got things to do. Do you know what I mean? It's like that sort of energy. Okay. Speaking the truth, Saturn in the third house is like, okay, I need to find my voice. I need to be okay with letting people know what it is that I need. Speaking with confidence, speaking with power. All right. Let's have a look at your card, Aquarius. Ooh, we have the Five of Wands. Like I said, the third has the communication, right? What Over the next 3 years, there are going to be a lot of instances where you're going to be forced to stand up for yourself, to speak your truth, to have confidence in what you say, to have conviction, to know that you're important, to be heard. But Saturn in the third house, someone's going to be like, I'm not being heard. People don't hear me. People don't think I'm important. Saturn is here for you to rise up and be like, I'm important. What I have to say really matters, and making sure your needs are being met as well. Your needs can't be met if they're not being expressed. Okay. Watch out for, like I said, watch out for combativeness when it comes to sibling relationships as well as friendships too. There could be some tension over the next 3 years because those relationships are going to be tested because you're transforming, and with transformation, there'll be new people coming in. Okay. Aquarius, love that for you. If you'd like a personal reading with me, hit me up in the show notes. I'll leave all the information for you to do so. And I'd love it if you'd like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you so much. Okay, so where are we? Last one. And I'm all out of tea. Okay, so if you are a Pisces rising, sun and moon, you are going to be so happy to have Saturn leave your sign after it's been dragging you for the last few years, opening up your eyes to all the things when it comes to your life purpose, why you're here, your long-term goals, dreams, desires, your relationships, the way you live, why you live there, your family, your boundaries. Saturn's a boundary queen, right? I'm putting those into place. All right, that's done with now. You're not the same person you were during this transit, right? Let me know if you lost weight. Starting the first house, guys, you usually lose weight. Let me know if that happened for you. Saturn gave you so many responsibilities in the first house. It really did. To help you grow. And guess what, honey? You fucking dealt with all of those. So well done, you. Now, Saturn is moving away from your first house, 13th of February, next 3 years, moving into your second house of home. First of all, yes, this is the house of money. However, Saturn loves to be in the house of money. Saturn does well with the money houses. All right. Acts really great here. It's about getting organized with your finances, getting organized with how you spend money, getting your finances in order. You know, why is it that I'm wasting money on? You know, what can I invest in? There could be added responsibility when it comes to work and career, right? So it's like I use that meme, and the meme is like I asked the universe for more money, and it gave me loads of overtime. Well, you asked for more money. Saturn's like, okay, you want more money, girl? You're gonna have to do the fucking work. All right. So it could be that you're going to have added responsibility. There could be an opportunity given to you as well when you come to work and career because Neptune's going to be involved as well. Separate video for that. But Saturn in the second house, added responsibility comes to it. When I had this transit, I manifested so much money, but I also had to be really mindful of what I was spending. Well, you know, I had one source of income completely dry up. Right, it like just ended like that as soon as it moved into the second house, right? So that had ended, but then I manifested another one, a different source of income, right? So there is that. Saturn can like end a stream of finances for you, but it's going to redirect you into something even greater if you're prepared to do the work. So I had to work really hard, but as I worked really hard, when you just flew in, I'm not a one believer for having to work hard for the money. However, when we talk about Saturn, you have to work hard for the money. Saturn does not cut corners. You have to go do things over and over and over again, right? Saturn wants repetition. It's a cycle. It's a karma. It wants you to learn the lessons. It wants you to grow and evolve. It wants you to plant the seeds and fertilize them, care for them, nurture them, watch them grow. This is how you're going to stack your cash. This is how you're going to call in your abundance. This is how you're going to get wealthy. Saturn in the second house will bless you with money. You're going to have to do the work, get organized, all right? What is your card? If Saturn kind of helped you step into your power in the first house, now it's going into your second house. It's going to have you stepping into your values. Or what do I believe to be true about me, myself? Do I believe that I'm of value? Right? Do you believe you're truly worthy and deserving of X, Y, and Z? And am I doing the right things and the actions and inspired action steps to go after what I want and call it into existence and believe that I just truly deserve it? Honey, you have the Two of Pentacles. I love this for you. Money is abound. Money is coming in. You can absolutely call in all the things you want, need, and desire. Like I said, Neptune is in the mix here as well. Saturn's going to be having a helping hand from Neptune for you to use the power of Neptune to manifest what you want. But Saturn is like, okay, you can absolutely have that. Let's make a plan. Let's go forward. And if you don't know what the plan is just yet, trust that as the Saturn transit goes through the second house, the plan will become clearer. And you'll be like, you know what? I think I know exactly what I want to do, where I want to be going. But for now, allow yourself to be open to possibility when it comes to your finances. If you like what I had to say, I would love it if you'd like, subscribe, share, thumbs up this video. And if you want a personal reading with me, hit me up. I'll leave all the information in the show notes for you to grab a birth chart reading, a tarot, whatever it is you want to do. Or if you want to download my Decode Your Birth Chart astrology course, learn how to do astrology, all that is there for you to do so. All right. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next video.